All right, folks, we're going to take a quick look at what we've got going on across the area so far and what we expect to happen here as we go throughout the afternoon. We've got a cluster of severe thunderstorms already heading our direction. Storms now to the south and west of Beardstown, all moving to the northeast. They're going to cut through Fulton County, probably entering the county between 1:50 and 2 o'clock, and then they're going to move up into the Peoria area. We think that's probably going to happen by 2:30 is when I'm expecting this cell. That southernmost cell is probably the most concerning right now in terms of tornado potential out of this line. So we'll need to keep a close eye on that. The conditions are going to become more favorable here over the next hour or two for tornadoes as that pushes through Fulton and Peoria County. So we'll need to keep a close eye on its development. Elsewhere across central Illinois, we've seen really not much additional activity. We've had some clearing. And then further to the west, there's actually new storms more on the actual cold front firing up. That'll be the second line that'll impact us likely after 4 or 5 o'clock this evening. Let's go ahead and do a quick forecast for you before things start to ramp up for our local area. We want to make sure you are informed. Earlier today, the Storm Prediction Center went ahead and upped the threat level to the maximum at a high risk for extreme southeastern parts of Iowa and west central parts of Illinois. This does include basically Peoria and points westward along and west of the Illinois River. That is a level 5 threat on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the worst. So it's a pretty significant threat. Locally, all of Fulton County included within that, Knox County as well. Now here's the way these work is within 25 miles of any point within that high risk, you can deal with high risk like conditions. So you go 25 miles out any direction from that, you're pretty much looking at the same conditions. So it's much of our area considered to be in a high risk. And again, the potential's there for strong long track tornadoes. We've got a very high threat of tornadoes along and west of the Illinois River, a pretty decent threat as you head further east, even into areas like Bloomington and Pontiac. There is a tornado threat for you as well. We do not have a tornado watch in place just yet for LaSalle County, but we could see that issued a little later on this evening. Damaging wind threat is area wide. Again, that's also a very high threat. Winds over 75 miles per hour. And the hail potential is highest along and west of the Illinois River, up to 2 inches in diameter. We're already seeing that out of some of the storms now pushing towards Beardstown, so wouldn't be surprised if those continue on their same route. So again, we have a high risk, a level 5 threat on a scale of 1 to 5 for at least western parts of central Illinois. Widespread severe weather, long-lived, very intense thunderstorms along with tornadoes are expected. We've bumped up the high wind and tornado potential to the max. Large hail potential is high. Flooding not expected to be an issue due to the storms moving pretty quickly. Right now they've been clocking in at over 60 to 70 miles per hour. Because of all this, we have designated today a severe weather alert day. That severe weather alert day continues until 8 p.m. This evening. All right, temperatures have been warming up. 70 degrees now in Peoria, 73 in Lincoln. Winds continue to blow out of the south, and that wind has been pumping in better moisture throughout the day. The dew points continue to creep up. We're now at 59 degrees in Peoria, 60 in Lincoln. Dew points are even higher to the west, and we expect those dew points to continue to push our direction. So we've got low 60 dew points in Columbia, Missouri, around 60 in Quincy, and it's all heading this way. Why are these dew points important? Because it's going to contribute to more instability as we go throughout the evening. And notice the storm's flaring up. This is round 1. Looks like it's going to track mainly along and west of the Illinois River, and it's that eastern cell I'm most concerned about when it comes to the tornado potential. And then you've got there's that line of storms flaring up along the cold front. Notice it's a broken squall line. It's a broken line of supercells. Those will also be capable of producing destructive tornadoes as they lift across the area. So we're going to get 2 rounds of storms through central Illinois tonight. The faster these can congeal into a squall line, the lower the high-end tornado threat will be for our area when that second line comes through. So the best option for us is that this thing maybe just lines out as quickly as possible, and then we'll be looking at a pretty nasty squall with winds probably over 80 miles per hour. But look at the instability that's in place. Plenty of it. It's going to stay around as we go throughout the rest of this afternoon and into this evening. It's going to continue to increase. And this first line of storms is not expected to tame that down much at all. So here's feature track. Again, supercells starting to push their way in. There's that eastern cell, probably a little too far east on the model there, but the timing, I think, is more or less correct. So there goes the first round, lifting up to the northeast. Here comes that next line, pushing in from the west after 5 o'clock. And again, the sooner these can form into a squall line, the better it is for us in terms of lowering that big tornado potential in round 2. There's not much we can do to lower it for round 1. There's nothing there to stop it for the first round of storms. But as this comes through, very strong winds, tornadoes will all be possible. Notice storms continue to push their way towards Interstate 55. And then by 8, maybe 9 o'clock, that model kind of slowed things down a little bit. But the storm threat and the potential for severe weather winds down at the latest will be 10 o'clock for central Illinois. But I think it's probably going to be a little sooner than that. All right, future storm rotation. Again, you got to take the exact placement of this with a grain of salt, but it kind of speaks to the environment. These are going to be very powerful, strong thunderstorms that come on through. Damaging winds, tornadoes will be possible, and they'll be long tracked. As these rotation tracks show, these storms could be rotating for quite some time as they move through central Illinois. Here's what we expect. Fast storm movement, 60 to 70 miles per hour. Destructive winds over 75 miles per hour. Tornadoes are likely today. EF2 or stronger will be possible. Hopefully you've been preparing throughout the day, and that you will continue to remain weather aware as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon and evening. Just checking on some stuff from the National Weather Service. Make sure that you do have a plan in place to seek shelter in a safe place. Modular homes, mobile homes, not necessarily a good place to be with a situation like this. Even with straight line winds, that could be catastrophic for mobile homes. More safe would be an interior room such as a bathroom or a closet. So if you do not have a basement, that'll be your next best option. But the best option, of course, is a basement or an in-ground storm shelter, or there are even some above-ground storm shelters.